What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Smooth back again with another video. This one is by Jutsu. He dropped another one, Ratatouille explained by a black man. So we've already checked out, I believe, his Chicken Little and a couple other videos for sure on this channel. Before we dive in, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you love the Smooth Squad family, ring the notification bell so you don't miss another content. Let's hop into the video.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It's time for some more peak.
Now give me my theme music.
Step in the building, bobbing on me. 1, 2, 3, you know we deep. Till I know it's split in the seat. Walking the church, I ain't paying the fee. I make time for God. He make time for me. Matthew 18:20, you said when we coming your name, we coming in.
So the movie starts, and the TV broadcasters are just glazing seconds into the movie. They talking about how Chef Gusteau, the best chef in
was
Paris,
like
is
that.
just so amazing. Well, look at dude. He definitely done been through some trial and error with his dishes. Food eating the food and the plate. But with great success comes your max level haters. These them type of fools that just be wishing on your downfall.
Wishing on it,
bro.
bruh.
Gave our beast friend a bad review, and dude died from a broken
Literally
heart.
a heart
We all know
attack,
that
bruh.
food died from type 2 diabetes and clogged arteries. And then cuts to our main character.
He was a little big, I ain't gonna hold
Crashing
you.
out the window sounding like
Yep, that's me. You're
But
probably
how I
wondering
got-
how I ended up in this situation.
But literally though,
he's really just running away from
'Cause that's how the
Crash
movie
out over
legit
that
starts.
house. So we get a
Whoa.
glimpse into the life of New York State mascot, and our boy Remy tells us how he basically has
State
insane
mascot.
taste and smelling abilities. He took one whiff of that cake and could smell each and every ingredient.
every
And this is his
ingredient. So like, I'm gonna stop it right here real quick. For those of you who don't know, and I know y'all gonna get in the comments like, oh, Ratatouille is a rat cooking. Yeah, yes it is, but hear me out. Just hear me out. This is one of, if not the best kids movie of all time, for the sole fact, not even, just the message behind it. Don't let nobody defer you from being able to accomplish or achieving your dreams just because of the way that you look or the way they perceive you. Like, bro, come on. You can't tell me that in itself don't make this one of the greatest kids movies. Like, bro, come on. Like, y'all gonna get, oh, it's a rat, I don't care, it's a rat in the kitchen, this and the third, but come on. It was just true. Like, I wouldn't want a rat in the kitchen cooking for me as well, like, more than the next guy. But in this best case scenario, where we have the most cleanliest, germophobic specimen to do this stuff, if it's 5-star, I'm just saying. Let's hop back into it, bro.
The leader of the rat troop, Remy ends up proving his worth, saving his Pops from that edible death. He shows the fam some of the food is poison, and Pops made Remy the family poison checker. So now he spends his days smelling food to ensure reproduction of these grimy rodents. Our guys
Yeah,
at
that
the
boy was
crossroads
going
because
crazy.
he actually enjoys food. So all the snooping through garbage all day to find your next meal doesn't sit well with bro. So he has
Oh,
the
God.
stupid idea of sneaking into a human's house for some good eats. He gets in and sees his inspiration, the great Gusteau. So he grabs some cheese and a strawberry and eats them together. Now his whole world done changed. His taste
That's
buds
a
don't know
fact.
how to act. But then the granny gets up and he scurries off back outside before Aunt Pearl catches him. The next
See,
day,
right?
Remy
Like,
gets
come
a
on,
meal,
bro.
And they go scavenging for good food ingredients. Bro got some mushroom, cheese, rosemary, a bunch of ingredients to whip up a whole lot of nothing. So they go to the roof to cook the food,
Nah,
getting their
she
butts
coulda just
roasted
put
by
a
the lightning.
mouse
And
trap,
how the
bruh.
fuck are these two still alive? Ain't no way these goobers
With a
surviving lightning
shotgun,
strikes.
bruh.
Remy talks Emil into sneaking into the house. They get in, and while Emil is the watch out, Remy looks around for some spices. Because if he ain't
My
sneezing,
thing
it
is-
ain't seasoned. And we also
Yeah,
find
you're an
out that
old
Remy can
lady,
read.
but, like,
that's not surprising after we
you
saw
got
him
mouse
walking
traps.
on 2
It's an
legs
ad.
and speaking fluent English with
You
his
got
brother.
mouse
he's
traps,
been
you got
studying
the sticky
Gusteau and
ones,
his
you got the ones
recipes.
if you
He
want
sees
to,
that
that just
Gusteau has
straight up
died, and bam,
randomly
Aunt Pearl
put a-
woke up
put an
like,
end
now
to
I
the
know that ain't
guys,
no rat scurrying through my living room.
you
She
know,
turned
you
around,
could
saw a
use a
meal,
broom
and
to
yeah,
sweep them
she
outside.
went
There's-
to grab the
there's
sawed-off
so
shotgun.
many
She really
alternatives
crashing out in this mug, but the recoil
Then
must
when
be
you
knocking her
first
shoulder
seeing a
loose, 'cause
rat
she missing all of
going
her shots.
for
She
a
reloaded
pump
the
action shotgun and just
shot
letting
brought
them
the
bitches
roof
go.
down, exposing
Like,
the
bro,
whole rat colony.
she was, grandma was crashing out in this
While
movie,
everyone
bro.
is getting in the wind, Remy went back to grab the cookbook and jumped out the window once again. Pause, because there is no way
He
a
got
rat
up
is
out of
jumping
there.
out of a closed window. The rat scurried to their makeshift
With a
boats,
book
and while Remy is trying
in
to
his
catch
hand,
up,
bro, like, no
Pearl
way.
got her last couple shots in. Now Remy and the colony are separated.
She was
so Remy
teeing
is
off.
tarnished, barely surviving these sewer waters, and now
Accuracy
he's all
on
alone
95.
reading his cookbook, which seems to be in pristine condition, by the way. Like, shouldn't the water have these pages all faded and soggy? And I guess the starvation is getting
Faded
to
and
Bro,
stuck
'cause the
together.
picture of Gusto started talking to him, telling him to go look for food. He goes up and finds some food, but
Literally.
the ghost of Gusto is like, we ain't stealing the eats. You better go cook some ish, my G.
Sir,
he runs off a
God.
bit further and sees he's made it to Paris, and he is right beside Gusto's famous restaurant.
To
Inside
be
the
in
restaurant,
Paris,
the
bro,
cooks
would
are
have been
throwing
so lit,
down,
and I
too.
cannot
Then we
wait
get
to go.
introduced to our other main character, Alfredo Linguini. Man's is
Some of the
named after a
scenes in
whole
this
pasta
movie,
dish,
bro,
but Linguini is here trying to get a job.
just
His mother used to be a
beautifully-
cook here, and
beautifully
also was one of
done.
Gusto's little bad things.
Aesthetically
But yeah,
pleasing
she's
to
dead
look
now.
at.
Left a note for the head chef to read
In
for
terms
later.
of
While all
the
this is happening,
actual-
Remy is on the roof taking in all the visuals, but then he sees our guy Linguini knock over the soup,
Oh, yeah,
and
he
then just
fucking up
started
the
adding
soup,
stuff
yeah.
to it. Like, bro, it's your first day, and you're already doing some doodle bobbery. Remy sees this and realizes he's ruining the soup, but then he falls through the roof into
Literally.
the dishwater. Bloop. Bro gets out the water and started going through a whole bunch of unfortunate events. Mans fell into the kitchen and couldn't catch a breather. He's moving through here
Almost
like it's
got
rush hour in India.
cooked.
But I don't care if it's linguine, fettuccine, I want some sashimi. Remy and 5. Cause he eventually makes it to the soup. Bruh, Alfredo tasted that junk and was like, yeah, I'm fired. Freak! But Remy ran past the soup and immediately smelled a case of the runs. So he started singing.
Yeah.
But after a little salt,
Yo,
pepper, garlic combo, he went to the window, but Gusto had
He
to
was-
hype
he
that
was like,
food
let me
up.
whip
Hey,
this
gang,
bitch
you
up.
don't go cook, my guy. So Remy ran back in and turned the heat up in this mug. Then bro had the audacity, the gumption, to wash them grimy dookie hands with a single drop of water. Yeah, whoever eats this soup definitely got some pack-a-punched virus in his system. As bro is literally dancing around the soup, Linguini spots Remy, but then Chef Skinner came out looking
Pack-a-punch.
for the soup. Linguini
Yo.
comes Remy with the pot. Skinner sees that bro had a utensil in his hand and was heated because he thought bro was cooking. Mid-argument, Mans came and sent that out anyway. He went to see who the victim was going to be, but Granny tasted it and wanted to see the chef. So Chef Skinner walked out and walked back in like, she likes the soup. Turns out the granny was actually a famous critic, so this could be good for the restaurant, but he still tries to fire Linguini. But
It
Colette
worked
stuck
out,
up
but
for
in
him.
the
Now she's in
wildest
charge
way.
of bro. Remy tries to escape, and they all see him trying to kill Remy with any item that could deal a fatal blow. But Linguini catches bro and takes him outside to kill him. He rides up
Yeah,
to
they
the
was trying
ridge
to
and
murk
was gonna
him.
just make bro walk the plank. Then he started tweaking and was talking to the rat. Then he noticed Remy could understand him, so he cooked up a plan and tried to figure out how they can make that soup again.
Bro,
Remy
rat
ran off,
understand me,
turned
I
around,
might have
felt
to-
bad, and
we
came
might have to
back.
come
Now
up
they're
with
the best
something.
of
I ain't gonna
friends.
hold you,
He
man,
takes
not an
Remy to this
idea.
rent a shed you call a crib, telling Remy to make himself at home. The next day, Gwenny wakes up to a 5-star
wasn't too
steak
bad.
meal, gobbling that junk down and heading to the kitchen. But before they do, they gotta figure out how to work as a duo. And Gwenny really was on some other stuff. Fool was finna put this grimy rat near his Vienna sausage. Skinner tells them, recreate the freaking soup, you lanky ginger peasants. While they trying to figure out these cooking combos, Remy went on a bite-a-thon. Gwenny went into the freezer revealing what I call a case of rabies and bubonic plague. He realized his little man
Yeah,
was starving.
he should have
Some cheese.
died.
Mid-conversation, Skinner pops his little knucklehead into the freezer. Bro snatched Remy up so fast, Skinner thought he was seeing things. He snaps on bro while walking out. They figure out that Remy pulling on Linguini's hair somehow controls his body. They get back home and get to
That
their
right
cooking
there,
training
bro.
arc. They got
The
some
attention to
good evidence
detail
that
in the
ventriloquist
kitchen
act
is
that they cooked
wild.
up some good eats while Linguini was blindfolded. After trial and error, of course.
This
though.
movie
The
also,
next
I feel
day,
like, got
they
me
put
my
those
passion
skills to use
for
and
cooking
recreate the soup. Then Skinner
like,
promotes Gwenny to
food.
the next level in his cooking career. He sends him with Colette, and she was not fond of bro's promotion. In the office,
all.
Skinner
She
is
was not
accepting
having
the
it, bro.
sellout of doom, trying to franchise Gusto's restaurant. Then he ends up reading that letter from
Trying to
Gwenny's
get every
mama.
last
Turns
penny,
out,
bro.
Mama Gwenny got cracked by Gusto back in the day, and Gwenny is actually Lil Gusto Jr. So Skinner calls up his lawyer because bro thought he was next in line to that manyan. Bro is like, yeah,
Right.
and you're hold. unless he could figure out how to get some dirt on Linguini within the next month. He mean mugs bro through the blinds because he thinks Guini knows what the freak is going on. But bro is actually lost as a mug. He just trying to get it out the mud.
Right,
The lawyer tells Chef
shit.
Munchkin he needs some hair samples from Linguini to run some DNA tests. They finna have this kitchen jumping like a Mari episode. So Colette takes our guy through the cooking boot camp and teaches him everything he needs to know to become a successful chef. After a couple days, she gives Linguini the tea on all the chefs in the kitchen. This guy was a circus monk. You thought I was gonna say it. Butthead right here did time in the pen. Wreck-It Ralph is a gambling guru, and this Neanderthal is a civil rights activist. She finally begins to take notes of the kitchen zone. Then we get another instance of Linguini and Remy gaslighting Skinner. He's gonna be a crackhead by the end of this movie. At cooking service, one of the customers asks for some new eats because they tired of the same old.
Hey, what's
The waiter
new?
goes in the kitchen panicking and tells everyone the customers want Linguini to whip up some good eats. So Skinner has the idea to let Linguini cook some new food, and hopefully it'll be buns, ruining Linguini's rep. This hating nigga gave Guini the worst recipe in Gusto's cooking bag. Sweet
Oh,
red
God.
Gusto. They get to cooking, and how is nobody noticing Guini just holding all the food up to his hat before he does anything? Like the IQ of all these chefs. Now I know why Gordon Ramsay be calling these foods donkeys. Remy gets to improvising on the recipe because the OG ingredients were straight moose knuckles. They send off Remy's new
Straight
bread
doodle
a la
butter.
Gusto, and the waiter came back like, these niggas really like his cooking. And Skinner is flabbergasted. Some of the other customers even asked for some
Another ad. Oh my god. I want
Some
what
of the
he's
other
having.
customers even asked for some more orders of these exquisite eats. Now the rest of the service was booming, with everyone asking for that special order. This was dang near a one-man show, because only Guini and Remy knew how to make the order. While everyone was drinking that wine after service, Chef Munchkin sees the shadow of Remy in Guini's hat, but he went out to give Remy a snack just in time, because when Guini
Just
came back
played
in,
it off,
Skinner was
bruh.
on top of the rack trying to expose him.
That
He tried to
nigga
play it
was-
off like he was playing the game. Like, nah, nigga. We caught you.
Got your
So
toe.
he was going into the
He
office to talk
nasty.
about business, but really he is trying to get Linguini hammered off that Taylor
To
pork
expose
spill the
himself,
beans about
yeah,
his
bro.
spring
He is the
break.
ultimate
Over
hater.
here instigating
He's on
that.
like
Seems like Chef has
the
a
type
new
of hating
food
is
for
a
it.
boo,
It switches
kid
to
boo,
Remy out here
super
grubbing
boo.
on his little charcuterie bag, and he hears some rattling by the trash. But Remy on timing and pulled out the shank. He went in the cut and saw that it was a meal over here grubbing on some absolutely horrible eats. So Remy goes back into the kitchen to steal
some
some food
disgusting
because
eats.
a meal needs to taste true deliciousness. Not even thinking about the repercussions of him going in and out of the kitchen without Linguini. He brings a meal back, some food
Right.
combos, but bro ain't with all the tasting. He just trying to eat whatever. Back in the office, Skinner is really going balls to the wall trying to get Guini to talk, but bro is too
Yeah,
drunk
he
to
had
speak
that
in
man
actual language.
zooted, bro.
Scoop-doo-dee-whoop, poop-dee-scoop-dee-whoop. And Emil talks Remy into going back to visit the colony. They get there, and the rats are playing music with your household garbage. So Remy and his dad catch up, and he tells him he's happy he's back. But Remy was like, nah, Pops, I'm gonna do my own thing. I got a luxury penthouse spot up near the restaurant. So they get into another
Was that
rap
a-
about
a-
being
a
around the humans.
Spider-Man
So
reference?
Pops takes Remy out to the city to see what humans really do to them rats in Paris. But Remy is still against him and walks off talking like Jaden Smith.
Can we talk about like the political and economic state of the world right now?
The next day, Remy goes out to head for work like he's one of the humans. Bro, you are not like us. He heads into the kitchen and seeing that Linguini crashed here for all that wine from the other night. Remy sees someone pulling up and goes into Guini's hat to wake him up, but bro isn't budging, and Colette walks in to punch that clock. She walks over and Remy is really cooking for real. They having a whole conversation and bro ain't said a word. Colette was hating because he got to talk with Skinner last night, but after he gave her this look and snorted in her face, she slapped the skin off bro jaw. As she's
Got
leaving,
fire
he wakes
up.
up and starts trying to spill the beans while expressing his love, and he is really yapping to the point where Colette was finna pepper spray this nigga. But before telling bro
She thought
about
nigga
Remy,
was
bro
tripping.
tugged on the hair, and we got a little smoochy smooch scene. Then it pans to the freaking villain of this movie, Anton Eagle. This fool been moving
Yep.
like Keith Lee. Let him say your food is trash. You dang near finna go out of business. His maid came in and told him how Gusto's restaurant was doing well again. But bro was like, not. on my watch. In Skinner's office, the lawyer told bro that the DNA test came back positive. Gusto, you are the father. And the little munchkin is tweaking and thinks that Gwenny is just playing with his name. Then bro started speaking that rat talk, had the lawyer like, rot. Got Skinner in here looking like one of those friendly neighborhood crackheads. Before heading out, the lawyer did tell Skinner that the first DNA test came back as rodent fur, definitely confirming his suspicions. That night, the new couple rides out into town, and Remy falls off right in the middle of
But
the
my
street.
question
He
is,
uses some of his plot
he
points to
grabbed the
escape
hair
death
from
by
his
car and
father's
had to get in the wind once these
toga
humans saw him,
hat.
'cause they
So
were
like,
not
was his
playing.
father
So he
using
heads
one
into the
too?
sewer and is starting to
That's the-
realize
that's
how
the-
humans really think
the
of him.
theory
Next
right
morning,
there.
Emil stops Remy before he heads to work, but this time he brought some friends with him. And what the absolute freak is this? That ain't no rat.
That nigga got a whole ear.
grown man. Let me see a rat.
Yeah,
size
that's
foot
an
across the
inmate.
street. He gonna get laid down with that 9. So the YN rats press Remy, and he sneaks in the kitchen and grabs Chef Skinner's key. Had all Gusto's
The YN
ghosts
rats.
flagging out because he is trying to steal some food for the fam. He ends up finding the folder with all Gusto's will and sees that Linguini is the actual heir to all the fortune. Suddenly Skinner walks in and sees Remy, weave the attack, and scurries off out the kitchen. Bro ran out and Boonton gained his chef's moped.
Yo,
While riding out to grab Remy,
he was
gets
trying to
shoved
get
off
them
to the
paper
sidewalk,
back by
landing on
any
his
means
noggin.
necessary.
After losing one of the will documents, he runs through the tree and leaps off to grab the documents and land on the boat. Straight oral farming. But Skinner is really determined and jumps onto the boat. They have some Mission
Swear to
Impossible
God.
escape scene, and Remy is really the main character. The aura he has is actually insane. But Skinner crawls his little body back into the kitchen trying to boss everyone around. But Gwenny had already got his hands on the will documents and sent bro packing. So Gwenny and the chefs get rid of the franchising side of Gusto's, trying to restore the restaurant's form of glory. And Gwenny done bossed
Yup.
up. Bro got the top penthouse mansion in Paris.
Yo, when he done
Got
upgraded to
Remy
the
luxury.
big ski, bro.
Emil keeps bringing in more and more YN rats, and Remy is really getting that peer pressure of doom. And Gwenny has begun to rise in
Yep.
fame, all due to Remy. And bro is starting to want to praise himself. But just some days ago, he was trying to stop bro from telling Colette, and Skinner is still up to his schemery, trying to call the pest inspector on the restaurant. But it switches back, and Anton Ego pulls up to the spot to tell them the news. I am the realist, food critic on the block. I pull
And
up
I
to
wanna
my
taste your
and I
food.
eats better slap. They go back to the office, and Remy and Gwenny get to arguing, and Skinner is up on the roof seeing everything unfold. Outside, Remy sees Emil in them, and he cooked up a plan to say freak it, sneaking the whole colony of rats in when the kitchen closes. They got to infiltrating this kitchen like a well-oiled machine. Even when Linguini came back to find him, they hid with the utmost efficiency. So Gwenny apologizes
Yeah,
to
they was
Remy.
going crazy.
Of course, Emil's fat tail exposed the scheme, and all the rats got to scurrying away. So now it's back to rats being rats and humans being humans. The next night, it is time for Anton Ego to enjoy a dinner at the restaurant, and Linguini is really
Oh, it was the
so he
dream.
musters up
Yeah,
the
he
courage
was-
to
yeah,
try
he
and
was
rally
scared,
the chefs.
scared.
But bro sounded like Jameis Winston.
Let's go. That's a W. Let's eat one. Let's eat one. That's a W.
Remy watches from outside, and him and Emil talk about food, but then Remy saves Emil from getting caught in the trap that was placed by the mad Skinner. So bro takes Remy and threatens him to make a new line of frozen food for him. And back at the restaurant, Ego is crashing out while ordering his meal. Skinner is also there being nosy, of course. Back with Remy, Emil and Pops drop a statue on the trunk freeing bro. He runs back to the kitchen, and back here, they are losing it. So Remy busts
They're
in, and
going
before the
through
slaughter,
it.
Gwenny saves bro and tells everyone that this rat right here, bro, really the mastermind behind all these recipes. And they are all flabbergasted. So they all quit on Gwenny, and it's just him and Colette left. But she can't even be mad at bro because he sounds so stupid. And while riding off, Shawty sees the cookbook and has some world revelation. The colony pulled up on Remy and were there to help, but just in time though, because the health inspector pulled up and seen them. They chased them down and tied them up for the Diddy
Yo,
party.
that would've been
All the rats get
traumatized.
pressure washed and assigned to
Diddy
different
party is
spaces in the
wild.
kitchen. And Gwenny walks out puzzled because what the freak is going on here? So he throws on the skates
Literally,
and starts
though.
riding through the dining room like this is a Sonic drive-in. And low key, this is
But,
what
like,
I'm calling. Bro is a
The attention to
genius.
detail.
This
They
is the
was
only
skating
thing
earlier
he's
in the
been
movie,
competent
him
in
and
this
Colette,
whole
which
movie.
prompt like
Colette
that helped him get
speaks
good
after seeing
with
these
it to be able to
rodents
do that.
throwing
Like,
down in the
bruh,
kitchen. But she's agreed
this
to
is a
stay,
great
and
movie,
Remy
bro.
shows them the recipe
Through and
to
through.
cook for Ego, which is Ratatouille. So they slice up some
Ratatouille.
veggies, layer some veggies.
I would
and
love
bake
to
some
one day
veggies.
make
And
this
once they
dish.
plated the
Like, this is a real thing. Like, I would love to try it.
No cap.
I looked up recipes. I will be having that one
Bro
day.
was pre-hating already, taking down notes. And Skinner ended up ordering the same thing and got teleported to a flashback. It was so good. He reminiscing about the eats his mom used to cook when he was a kid. Even Skinner likes
Literally, bro.
was in the kitchen demanding
That boy
the same
Skinner
thing
almost
for
had
food.
a
He gets
mouth
tired of,
gasm,
like, the
bro.
health inspector. After Ego gobbles up the food, he asks to see the chef. So they tell him if he wants to see the chef, he must wait until everyone has left. This some accidental bars right there. So after hours, they bring in Remy, and Eagle thought they was kidding, but after they explain it to him and have Remy recreate the dish, bro leaves and goes through a whole mental journey trying to cook up a food review of this experience. He ended up giving them a great review, not revealing Remy's and Gweenie's secret, but it didn't matter. Skinner and that health inspector shut the place down with the quickness.
They had to
And
let
at
him
least
go.
someone has some sense in this movie. Rats in the kitchen is a no-go. I don't care if he was Mr.
At
Clean.
all.
Even Ego got fired for backing them, but he didn't care. Bro got to spend the rest of his days eating Remy's food at their new
Eating
restaurant.
the
And that
greatest
motherfucker
food.
booming too. But yeah, that's
To the
it.
God.
This movie is a certified banger. Bro is definitely
Certified
a Gordon Ramsay.
banger.
Thanks Jutsu Mafia for the
Whether it's Disney, DreamWorks, I guess if you watch Nickelodeon movies, just in those realm of movies, there's always a certain film that throughout the years, multiple generations will catch. Whether that's just because the film is overall to that, to that stature of popularity, whether just the story / the message behind those films are great enough to have people going back and watching it, or after all these years, whatever the case may be, like there's always that film. This is one of those films. It's crazy that like my mom, who's way older than me, can watch this and she enjoys it. She likes it. It's one of her favorite movies alongside like Lilo and Stitch and other stuff like that. Me and my siblings, who are 10 years apart, both have also watched this. The generation under me, my nieces and nephews, are getting a chance to watch this and are enjoying it. This is one of those movies, like, bro, it has a great message. There's a bunch of, I guess, things you can speculate and theorize on, especially now that there is that DreamWorks theory of everything being interconnected or woven together in one universal world. But like, just in general, hell of a movie. Like, if you guys have not watched this, I recommend to go and watch this. Hey, you ready to see me do a reaction to this movie sometime on the channel? Like, bruh, it's like that. But just in general, thank you guys for watching this one. Leave down in the comments what you want to see me react to next. Gonna be a trip. I got y'all. Terry Smooth out.
I'm gonna need you to subscribe, my nigga.